Are you guys looking for a good book to read? Well, today we've got a book recommendation for you. So kind of think of this as like Socialmerk Book Club time.
We're gonna talk about actually one specific book that has really helped transform my life. I've told Julia about it a bunch of times, so we're gonna tell you about it.
The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Hi friends! Today we want to talk about The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari because this book totally changed Jen's life. And the reason why we want to talk about this book is because number one, the power that books have to change our perspectives, to get us seeing things in a different way. And number two, which is the real crux of what we want to talk about, which is you can read the exact same thing as someone else and walk away with two totally different perspectives.
When I was reading this book, I would like send some quotes to Julia and we would interpret them in two completely different ways. So basically this book I really do feel was the push that like really drew me to actually say I'm gonna move to Buffalo.
Yeah, so if you guys have already saw the video that we did about Jen moving to Buffalo and how the universe works for you when you're trying to make it work for you, we'll link that up here so you guys can see it if you haven't already. But this book was a huge catalyst to that.
It was. I remember calling Julia and telling her all about this book and I really, it like
and then
invigorated
mailing it to me via Amazon because she was like, you need this, and it's literally on my bookshelf in my living room right now.
Because it's so good. It's a powerful message on really like taking care of yourself and your spirit. Not just your outsides, not just, you know, what you say to other people, but really like how you feel about yourself. And both of us agree that that is so unbelievably important. And it's really just learning that sometimes we gotta take risks. Sometimes we really do. I felt in my heart I wanted to be in Buffalo. This book like literally lit a fire under me and I was like, I'm doing this. I'm doing it.
And it's amazing how a book can push you to do something. I mean, I remember the first time that I read Seth Godin's Linchpin, which I'm rereading right now. It was an unbelievable book for me to realize the power of thinking differently, putting yourself out there, being brave. Books really do have the power to transform our lives, to get us to do things that maybe we were too afraid to do. Books sometimes give us permission, like you said, to be brave. And this book definitely gave Jen permission to make a major change in her life.
And that's the cool part, is that like my interpretation maybe one way, Julia's is another way, but when we share them with each other, then I get to see your interpretation, which might spark some stuff in me, and you get to see mine, and vice versa, spark some stuff in you too. And that's why it's so fun to talk to other people about some good books that you're reading, which is exactly why we wanted to talk about this with you guys, so that you can see or get on board with reading this book, because it's so transformative, or it was for me. And I remember sharing quotes with you and you would be like, oh my god, and I was like, I know. That's why I told you.
So The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, written by Robin Sharma. And here's what we want you guys to do. Number one, what a weird way to do number one. Number one, if you enjoy this video, I was thinking ahead, hit the thumbs up button. Number two, if you have read this book, let us know in the comments below. We really want to, get a sense of number one, like also, let us know in the comments below, do you like the idea of us sharing book recommendations with you and sharing our takeaways and feedback, because we're so happy to incorporate that as another part of Socialmerk. This book was a major catalyst for Jen, so we are going to be talking more about it. So the last thing that we need you guys to do is stay tuned for our next video, because we're going to be sharing a quote from this book and talking about our different interpretations of what that quote means.
Stay tuned.
So be sure you're subscribed also. Stay tuned and be sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell so you get notified when we post new videos, and we'll see you on a Monday.
Bye.